Hello everyone, Vegas Vic 1965. This week's video, we're looking at tips and tricks part 4. It's going to include probably some villagers because we'll be doing some mending on the fly. I figure you give you some pointers and things to do when you're out adventuring and you need to mend your gear. Also, we got a couple of big furry friends here that we're going to look at as far as getting them out of these two particular modes of transportation safely. So, without further ado, let's find out. Okay, the first one we'll look at, of course, I want to take a look at these big guys. I know in the past I've had trouble getting these guys to where I needed to get them to because, yes, they can fit in these things, but if you've tried this, then you also know that it's extremely difficult to get around those hit boxes. So, if I bring up their hit boxes, as you can see here, they're pretty big, and it's very, very difficult to try and just hit the mine cart. So there are easier ways to do that. Same with the panda. If you have them in a boat, extremely difficult to get to that boat. So we're going to show you some ways, and this is an activator rail, just like this right here. Now the activator rail, as long as it's powered, will kick him out of that little mine cart that he's in by pressing this button. Will power it, should come over, pops him right out of there. And if you have an enclosure or something for your new panda or your new polar bear, whatever you had in your minecart, you're all set. Same over here, like we're going to use the boat for the panda. Let me get rid of those. So for the panda, what you want to do, or if you have the polar bear in there, what you want to do, and because like I mentioned, we showed the hit boxes on there, it's extremely difficult to get to that boat unless you can get underneath it. And even then, you may accidentally, after traveling so far with your panda, get him back and you might end up killing him. Just remember, these big guys, they need some space, so don't try to fit them through a one wide space. In this case, the easiest way to get him out of that boat without injuring him is just start running some water. You'll see the water eventually is going to go, it's going to submerge that boat, and when it does, he is going to be getting out. Just like that. Nice and easy. So if you have gone out and got yourself a panda or a polar bear for an enclosure or for a pet, just remember these are two easy ways to get those big guys out of the minecart or the boat. At this point in the game, if you're out adventuring and you're looking at needing to repair your items, the best place probably, if you're in the overworld, is definitely going to be a village. Now that village, whether somebody else has been there or not, it really depends. And just make sure that you're not going to be doing anything with any villagers that are owned or being watched after by somebody else. But in this case, let's take a look. My elytra is getting pretty low. I've been out looking around and I need to get this repaired. I'm a long way from home. So what I do when I'm doing my thing, this is my little tip, is I always keep extra supplies around when I'm out getting things. Now I'll fill these shulkers up full of items that I might find at a desert temple, a jungle temple, or somewhere along the way, maybe when I'm mining. But at this point, I'm out here and I found this village, and no one else has claimed it, so I need to go about repairing my items. So what I'll probably do is I always keep emeralds on hand. I always keep, as you can see, I keep iron. I also keep oak logs. And if you didn't, if you run across let's say, for example, some other villagers that you could trade with, you could easily go out and, like a Fletcher, you can easily go out and chop down some trees if you don't have those on hand for sticks just to get your item repaired. Now remember, looking here, I've got mending on all of my equipment here. Also most of the weapons and tools, so be wary of that when you are repairing it, and it's both on Bedrock and Java Edition. If you're going to be repairing out there while you're out running around and you want to get that elytra repaired, I'll show you how to do this. We'll go up here and take a look and see what he has. A brand new villager, and he's got some iron axes. Now luckily for us, we have a trash can right here, because we really don't, at this point, we don't need the iron axes, but we do want to get our item repaired. Now you can block this off if you like I'm going to do right now, just to make sure that he doesn't leave before you're finished if you want. But at the same time, you want to also make sure you have room. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm probably going to end up dropping some of these, but I want to make sure that I take these items off. I'm pretty safe right now. Unless it was nighttime, then I'd probably put another layer of of stone right there so no babies, zombies, or husks could get in. But now that I've taken my other mending gear off, I want to make sure that I'm not highlighting anything but what I'm trying to repair. Now I can repair the pickaxe right now if I want. So let's go over here and I'm going to just do shift click. Bedrockers can't do that, but there we go. Now let's take a look. It repaired my pickaxe. If you remember, it was only a small bit. Let's go take a look at the elytra. Much better. Now we're at 243, but we need more. So let's go over now. At this point, he's probably up to iron. And he is. So we have iron just on the outside there. We'll take a look at in just a minute. But I'm going to hop up here. Hopefully he doesn't push me in. And I'm going to get rid of all these that we don't need. And I'm going to grab the iron and continue on. And this way, if I happen to run back this way, no sweat. And usually what I do is I'll block this off so nobody accidentally falls in there. So I'll come over here. I'll come over and grab my iron because I know I have some iron here somewhere. There we are. And again, we have all of our items off. Block this in so he doesn't walk out on me. And we got everything else off. We only have the elytra that needs to be mended. So I'll come right up and make sure I've got nothing in my hotbar. You don't want anything in your hotbar that has mending on it that's selected because that's where the game is going to look. So we'll go over here. I've selected using the emeralds, which can't be repaired anyway. And we want to repair that elytra. So let's see what happens. I did a shift click again. For bedrock, it'll be a little bit different. And we are almost repaired and ready to get back out on the road again. And that's as simple as it is when you're out and about. Again, it can be with any villager. Some of the villagers are more difficult to do that with. I personally hopefully find a blacksmith, or you might find an armorer. There's a lot of different villagers that you can use, like the Fletcher, a lot of those that you can use to go ahead and mend your gear on the go. Another one here to look at, well, let's say, for example, we did not have that armorer over there. We didn't have a Fletcher and we couldn't go out and make one. Usually villages will have you'll have a farmer. Now the farmer, if you notice in some of these villages, a lot of them, except the taiga biomes, you will find these, especially like savanna, the desert, and also the plains villages. You'll find lots and lots of hay bales, unless somebody's already been there. And those hay bales can be broken down into wheat and traded to the farmer to repair your gear if you need to. So I know I have another elytra because I carry usually a couple of elytras with me, and we're going to try and repair this one. But this time I'm going to put it right in my action bar. I don't need to wear it. I've already got one on me, but I definitely want to make sure that I'm going to take everything off when we are ready. So in this case, let's go take a look and see what he has to offer. And he does not. So you're thinking, well, what do I do? Well, no problem. What you'll do from here is you'll break this workstation. And he will lose that job. I'm going to move it out of the way so he doesn't keep messing up the crops. He'll pick up, one of them will pick it back up again. It just so happened he picked up the same one. And looks like we have a different one coming over to pick it up. There we go. Let's see what he's got. He doesn't have it either, so we're going to break that again. We'll drop it down. You keep doing that until you get yourself a new farmer villager that actually is going to do the trade that you want. In this case, we're looking for those hay bales. So we need a wheat trade, and there is one right there. So we go over and we get our wheat. We'll be right back. Okay, so we got ourselves 36 hay bales. Let's go take a look and see if he changed his trades or still has wheat. He does. Just in case he did, you can always break the workstation again and see which one of them is going to pick it up and keep doing that till you get that wheat trade again. So I'm going to take half of this, put it in here, turn it into wheat, and we want to get this repaired. Remember, take off your other mending gear. Make sure it is safe if you're going to do this. You don't want anything sneaking up on you, killing you like a creeper. So we'll go over here. And again, what do I have selected down in the toolbar? It is the wheat, the hay itself, so I don't have to worry about that getting repaired. So we'll go up here and just start trading him some of this. And we'll, whoops, I forgot. We need to select, excuse me, the elytra that needs to be repaired. So we'll select that elytra, and if you look down there, you'll see it start to change, and there it goes. There, it's getting ready to be repaired almost fully. So you can do that on the fly, again, with Fletchers, with your armorers, your toolsmiths, your weaponsmiths, and a few other villagers. Some of them are not really easy to repair on the fly, but a lot of them are, and it's very easy, so you don't have to make that trip back home or walk back home and worry about your elytra breaking on you. Let's go take a look at one of the places this works out pretty well as well. Okay, now you're in the Nether. Yeah, the Nether can be a little hairy, and you really need to watch out for the gas that are out there. Now, I have just like a 1 and sometimes a 2 block deep hole. It's up to you, but I suggest leaving yourself some room. You don't want the little guys getting in there. So guess what I am going to be hitting? Yes, I'm going to be grabbing all of those guys right over there. And they're going to come after me too after he takes a look at that gold. These guys will be coming after me. Now, what I've done to keep the piglins not being angry with me is I have put on a gold helmet. But of course, since I've hit one, it doesn't matter anymore. But they can't get in, and neither can the little guys, the little zombie piglins. They can't get in either. But you see my boots are in bad shape. They need to be repaired. If we're out in the Nether running around trying to get things done and we needed to have some repairs done, then this is what I do when I'm getting ready to repair my gear. I'll set myself a protective area up here, and I'll set out some trapdoors so the little guys like he can't get through, and it won't bother me if he gets upset. Now, there are pieces on here that I don't need repaired, and since they can't get to me, I'm not too worried. I'm going to take that off. And this doesn't have mending, so I'm not worried about that either. And of course, I'm going to leave my totem of dying on. If you want, you can place another tool or another piece of gear in there. I'll go ahead and do that just to show you. So we'll go through here, start whacking away. We'll see when we start killing these guys. This is like a last resort, and if you're out adventuring and you don't happen to have any of the farms or anything that you need. And this will work just fine to repair a lot of your gear. You just go ahead and pick them off from a distance, and the zombie pigman will obviously get angry with you. And if you notice that we're starting to get some stuff repaired, that was pretty bad, and the game selected that one to start repairing. So this is another good way if you're in the Nether running around trying to get things repaired, or even that right over there, as you can see, use your pickaxe. If you have a Fortune 3 pickaxe, you'll get some experience there, and there's a good chance that you'll be able to repair some gear too. So there's lots of ways to repair your gear while you're out adventuring and out on the run. Okay, well, would not be complete unless we also looked at the end as far as repairing your gear. Now, let's take a look and see what we have here. I do need to have my elytra repaired. I forgot to put my boots back on. But at any rate, when you're in the end, this is usually what I make. I'll mark myself a little spot, and I will go do a 5 block space. So you got 1 block here in the middle, and then I'll go 2 on each end. That way it gives me room to get away from these guys, because you know what happens when you start looking at these guys. They get upset. So once they start looking at me, or if I start looking at them, and of course you notice they're not going to do anything until you take your eyes back off them again. Once I do that, he'll come after me. And what you want to do when you're ready to repair your elytra, for example, if you're out looking for an end city, you can just stop and make one of these and start angering a lot of these endermen. And when they start coming over to you, they can see you from quite a distance when you give them the eyeball. They'll start coming over, and as you lean closer to one end or the other, you'll see that they'll move towards that end like this. I'm getting a little closer to this end here. All right there. And guarantee you whatever we've got here is going to get repaired. Let's look at the elytra. There it is. The elytra is all repaired now. I'm going to stick my axe in there for now. Actually, you know what? I'll use the axe, and I'll put the pickaxe in there. Let's whack away at these guys. And again, I've got a whole bunch of stuff. There's no little guys we have to worry about here, so I'm going to take everything off. And the only thing I have that needs to be repaired, of course, is going to be that pickaxe, which is done. So I'll put that back in here. And now we just have the axe that needs to be repaired. And now it's done. So when you're out here in the end, that's a very, very easy way, and that's to set yourself up a little area right here, just like this, to where they cannot get to you at too high space, and just start looking at them all. They'll all come to you, and you can have your elytra repaired, back on flight, looking for those end cities really quickly. Well, that's about going to wrap it up for me. I hope you found this tips and tricks on mending on the go, and also how to move these guys or get them out of the big guys out of the minecarts and boats. I hope that really helps your gameplay in your Minecraft world. If you like this video, click that like button. If you want to subscribe for past or future videos, click that subscribe button. It really helps me and lets me know that I'm doing a great job for you guys each and every week. So until next week's video, guys, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.